Well, folks, week 8 of the NFL season has come and gone. Can you believe we are almost halfway through? Next week, we'll be halfway through the regular season in the National Football League. Of course, my name is Scott, and it's the Terranadome. It's all new here on October 30th, 2025. In this show, we will break down and analyze the week 8 action as Josh Morris is once again back on the show, as he is each and every other week. And then we will give you a six-pack of picks and a preview of week 9. Plus, we hit on the World Series, which goes to game 6 tomorrow night in LA. Toronto is leading the Dodgers 3-2. All that is on the way. It's up next. It's actually going to start on the Terranadome right now. The first interception led to a field goal, and the second one led to a touchdown. You lost by 3. That's why you don't turn the ball over. We see it every week from multiple teams. It happens all the time, Patriots. Yeah, Pats +8, Pats money line. Book it, baby.
Stop it. No.
Buffalo's going down.
No.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Respect the flying Elvis. Buffalo's going down. Denver money line. I like Denver money line too. I like Denver money line too. I think this is the week for Philly. Denver is better than that 2-2 record for sure. It is. That's gonna be a low-scoring game over there in Philly. I think I would hammer the under on that game too.
Known as fair square throughout my years, so I growl at the living foul. Black to the bone, my home is your home.
Well, welcome to Terranadome. Terranadome, and it starts right now. Let's try that again, folks. Welcome back into the show. It's the Terranadome. First time I tried to record it, I didn't have my mic in front of me. So you know what kind of day I'm having. Josh Morris, he's back on the show. Thank God for that, because we needed him and we missed him. Josh, how you holding up, bud?
I've been better, but we're here, so I'm living the dream.
We're here. He's living some kind of dream. It might be a nightmare. Who knows? Now the fat cat is eating off the floor. That's great. Yeah, by the way, happy early Halloween to you folks out there. And I have 2 black cats, which is extra spooky and really annoying. Okay, so now I have to go over this. I just want to thank the viewer, the listener that left a comment last week about how they very much enjoyed the crap bag football segment that I did on last week's show, where I believe I had 4 or 5 games in a row that were not very good in week 7. Well, you're in for a treat this week, because we have 9 out of the 13 games that were not very good in week 8. They were decided by 18 points or more. 9 of the 13 games decided by 18 points or more. And there were a couple more that were still decided by multiple touchdowns. So, wasn't the greatest week to bet, wasn't the greatest week to watch. Even National Tight Ends Day, there were only like 10 touchdowns from tight ends. So I didn't make any money off of that. I'm thinking I got to stop betting on sports, especially with the NBA stuff going on. Anyway, Josh, how are you? How's it going? You already said not that great. Okay. Did you enjoy your team's play on Sunday? No, just kidding. We'll get to that in a minute.
Come on now, that's a low blow.
That's not right. That's not right. I shouldn't be doing victory laps already. It's only 8 games into the season, but we are a New England-based show, Josh. So where am I going to start?
Probably with the Jets.
Yeah, definitely with the New York Jets, who got their first win of the season on Sunday over the Cincinnati Bengals. But we will get to that in a moment, because first,
Maybe the best game of the week.
it probably was the best game of the week, and that's disgusting.
Isn't that? That's crazy.
We will get to that shortly, folks. We will. But of course, first is the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots, ladies and gentlemen, beating up on bad teams just like the good old days. 32-13 over the Cleveland Browns. The Patriots improved to 6-2. Cleveland drops to 2-6. It was Drakey May once again in this one. Did a great job despite constant pressure. But very quickly, we're going to have more back and forth this week, folks. I got a little bit of critique on the show from 2 weeks ago. We're going to do, even though I'm running my mouth right now, we're going to do more back and forth, but because it's the Pats, just a little bit of rundown. Pats got out to a 3-0 lead. Then they did that thing that they did the last couple weeks before. They let a scripted play open and drive touchdown happen, this time by Cleveland. Then the Pats dominated. Okay. Browns defense was stout enough as the D-line had constant pressure on May in the first half, and it was pretty much constant, folks. Myles Garrett made Will Campbell into his bitch in this game. Pats led at 9-7 thanks to 3 Andy Borregales field goals. Very exciting stuff. Patriots would then score on touchdowns on 3 straight possessions from the start of the second half, including a 6-yard drive in the middle thanks to an interception and run back of 33 yards by Robert Spillane I might have mentioned it in the offseason. I was very excited about Spillane. Spillane has been exactly what the Patriots needed in the middle of that defense so far. Pats were up 30-7 going into the fourth after that. Cleveland got a short, cheap touchdown early in the fourth after Bryce Behringer very puzzlingly kicked it 15 yards off the side of his foot. And then Cleveland was very easily able to get a touchdown after that. That screwed me out of a game-winning bet as it went over 40.5. Awesome stuff. Definitely not that questionable, especially for a guy that can boot it 70-plus yards in the air. Not that weird.
He missed it.
Yeah, he missed it. I mean, I guess he's a human being. I refuse to believe that he's a professional kicker of a football. Okay?
I mean, it is kind of crazy when, you kick a ball maybe 5-6 times a game and, if you miss 1 out of 6, I mean, that's not really elite.
No, but I mean, you're a professional. You get paid probably around $1 million to punt a football.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if you kick 6 a game, like you should be able to make them count.
Well, yeah, and then also there's all the warm-ups and stuff. But anyway, whatever. That doesn't matter here nor there. I'm just bitching I lost money. I've already swore twice. That's my quota. Later in the quarter, Dylan Gabriel of the Browns, not a very good quarterback, commits intentional grounding while throwing the ball out of the end zone. It's been a long time since I've seen that. So the Pats get a safety. They win the game 32-13. Josh, it's a 5-game winning streak for the Patriots. That's one more game than they've won in each of the last 2 seasons. They've won 5 weeks in a row. I'm not going to say we're all the way back because we're not. Get me to the Super Bowl. I'll think about that. People are wanting to say we're all the way back. We're all the way back. But it is their first 5-game winning streak since they won 7 in a row in Mac Jones' rookie year in 2021. What do you think? I'm sure that you had the 49ers game on, but you probably had Red Zone on as well. So I'm sure you caught some of this. What did you see? And what do you think? Is this team for real here at 6-2? I mean, they really only have beaten the Bills. At least some people.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because, like you said, you're beating up on crap teams, but that's your job. Like, you can only play the teams that you're supposed to play. You guys are winning, so I mean, you could be losing to those crappy teams. You're still beating them, and you're beating them decisively. Like, you guys did start a little slow. You had that interception from Drake in the beginning, which was kind of a head scratcher. He's been playing so damn well, and he threw it to a linebacker right in front of him, and you're like, what the? But other than that, I mean, and Will Campbell, like, I don't know if that concerns you. I mean, Myles Garrett is a one of a kind. Like, he's elite. He's probably the best defensive player in the NFL. So, that's kind of a one-off. Will's been pretty good for the most part. The line's been pretty good for the most part. So I'm assuming it's just because it was Myles Garrett. But I mean, again, your schedule is so favorable. Like, when are you going to get a real test? You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, to your point, it's not just Myles Garrett. That front 7 is pretty loaded for Cleveland, but certainly, I mean, 5 sacks. I mean, that does not happen often. Even for Myles Garrett, it doesn't happen often. And it wasn't just Will Campbell one-on-one with him either. They were chipping him all day long, and it didn't matter. So, it's a little bit of a concern, but that might be the best front that they go up against the entire regular season at this point. Honestly, and I know Cleveland's not good. They were the number 1 defense in the league coming into this game. But am I going to totally write it off as a one? No, not really. They got to be better than that. I will say the kid played very well despite all that pressure. 18 out of 24 for 283 yards from May, 3 TDs and an interception. He had 50 rushing yards and did not take a stupid hit to the head and actually got down a couple of times. It was his first interception since week 3, and you were right. That was a very questionable one where the linebacker's right in front of him and he just doesn't see him and throws it right into his breadbasket. I will say this much, though. I think people have kind of stopped the talk that was happening after week 1, and I keep parading this around every single week on the show because I was right. You should have listened to me. May leads the league in completion percentage, 75.2. He leads quarterback rating, 118.7. Adjusted yards per attempt at 9.7. He's 5th in passing yards. He's tied for 2nd in yards per completion and tied for 3rd with Patrick Mahomes in QBR. May's the real deal. I know last time we were on the show, you were like, you should pump the brakes. It's like, look what's kind of happening to Daniels. Look what's happening to, I don't know, look what happened to Mac Jones, I guess. But this kid's raw talent, I think, exceeds most of these guys over the last few years. We'll see. I mean, they do get to play some better defenses. Yeah, I mean, stat wise, I mean, Stevenson had 14 carries for 34 yards and now has a toe injury. Travion Henderson looked good, 10 carries for 75. Then he lost the fumble early in the fourth. That's what led to the safety. Keyshawn Boutte, another touchdown. 7 catches, Mac Hollins, spreading the ball around well. 7-yard touchdown, Hunter Henry. Stephon Diggs, only 3 catches for 11 yards, but did get his first touchdown. As a Patriot, what do you think? What do you think? What kind of impact do you see on this team from Diggs? Do you see what I'm seeing? Do you see the social media stuff? Do you see
Oh
that?
no, I definitely don't see all that. I'm waiting for him to. I mean, we had kind of spoken about it. You pretty much said it. Like I'm okay with him for a year because you can keep the kettle from heating up too much,
Exactly
and
what I said. Yep.
it like we'll see because I mean 3 catches, 11 yards. Besides the Buffalo game, like he hasn't had anything crazy. I
No,
will say you gotta love Keyshawn Boutte. Him and May really seem to have a really good rapport. They seem to always be on the same page. I actually took his like over this week and that hit. The only thing that didn't was Jamar Chase, but that is what it is. I will say he seems to be really in lockstep with Drake May, and that's obviously you always want that with any younger quarterback. You want him to have um, comfortability with his receivers, and really he seems like you said, he spreads it out. It's not like Mac Jones, an example for the Niners, is like it's Kendrick Bourne. Like if it's not Kendrick Bourne, he doesn't seem to really have a rapport with any of those guys. Like Drake May doesn't seem to really care. Like he's like whoever my read is, like that's where I'm going to try to go, and then if not, I'll find someone else. So um, I don't know. If you're a Patriots fan, you have to be really excited. If you really, like I said, you're not going to go all in just yet. You want to see more, but you got to be excited.
yeah, so kind of what I was alluding to, and yes, actually, Booty has turned into such a good receiver, honestly. Like for a 6th round pick, that was supposed to go way higher in the draft, but had all those gambling issues there in college, so there were some character questions. But yeah, Booty's turned into a number 2 receiver, like a legit number 2, but like they don't really throw him the ball that much, but they
Mm.
could if they wanted to, and he would succeed. He catches almost everything that he gets thrown. Diggs has been really good in the locker room, like really, really good. So he's super bought in right now. He seems very happy. Hopefully it stays that way. The main takeaway, folks, is that this team is all in for Mike Vrabel. Big time all in for Mike Vrabel. The coaching is just this is the best coached team since their last Super Bowl team, and it's not even really close.
No.
It's not close. I will say for Cleveland, I don't think Dylan Gabriel's the answer for them. I do like their young tight end Harold Fannin, who had a nice game here. It's 6 catches for 62 yards and a touchdown. And also, I don't know if you caught this, but Myles Garrett was very upset at the end of this game. They showed him on the
Well,
sidelines
they took
throwing
him
his
out.
helmet. Huh?
They took him out.
I agree. I don't know why you take him out. But also, if it's because he's pissed because they're losing despite a 5-sack game, it's like, well, you took the money, dude. You didn't have to. Somebody else would have paid you. Like anybody
Oh,
else would have paid him.
absolutely.
But anyway, Cleveland will head into their bye week. The New England Patriots will face the Atlanta Falcons, which we will get to in a few minutes here. And I will be in attendance for that game on Sunday at 1 o'clock. So that should be a good time. Depending on which Atlanta team shows up, we will see. The one that showed up last Sunday was not very good, but quickly because there was another team that didn't show up on Thursday night. We got to get to that. So Thursday night football, let's rewind it, go back to Thursday night. Josh, I think the Minnesota Vikings are missing Big D Sam Darnold right now, baby, because they don't have anything at the position. And now Wentz is out for the rest of the season. Like McCarthy's going to come back. But the Minnesota Vikings get embarrassed on Thursday night football. And if it wasn't for, yeah. Well, wait, hold on. I was going to say if it wasn't for a Justin Herbert interception, the Vikings may have scored 3 points in this game. They lose 37-10 to the
Yeah,
LA Chargers.
they were awful. Now, I will say I'm going to give Carson Wentz some relief only because he clearly was playing with one arm. Um,
Didn't see
you
it,
know,
but yeah.
now I think it was either yesterday or today and said like no one forced me to play, but it's like then why did you? he clearly was in pain every time he did anything. Um, he had a stabilizing brace on. Like I don't know how you play quarterback with one arm. I get you only throw with one, but mechanic wise, every like it's your whole body. It's not just your throwing arm. Like if anyone has played any kind of sport, you know when you throw something or you do something, it's not just one part of your body. It's an entire body thing. And he was clearly in pain. And anytime he got hit, anytime he threw or had to stop a throw, or whatever it might have been, he was clearly in pain. And obviously the Vikings don't trust JJ McCarthy at all, because if that was the case, he would have played. Like, I don't know if you saw him jump over Justin Jefferson. He made a catch on the sideline, got pushed out of bounds, and JJ McCarthy jumped over him. Like, so if you had a high ankle sprain, that might have caused a little bit of pain.
Yeah.
So clearly the Vikings aren't all in on JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, and that's not that's not really good news for the fan base there. You took the kid 10th overall a year ago, and because he's been so beat up, now you don't trust him. Or maybe it's just because he looked bad for 7 quarters of football in the regular season. I don't know which it is, but they don't have much of a choice right now unless they want to do a Kirk Cousins reunion, perhaps. I'm guessing they don't want to do that, or they would have just signed him in the first place. But yeah, I
And
mean,
salt on the wound, you think about it, they had Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones last year. They had both of them, and they didn't keep one.
it's kind of like when the Panthers had Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold didn't keep either of them either. Yeah. Imagine keeping Daniel Jones right now with the way he's looking, and Darnold's doing his thing too. I mean, they're both playing really well. You're stuck with a kid. You got a good roster, but you're not going to be able to win. Uh, Wentz, yeah, definitely compromised. 15 out of 27, 144, touchdown and a pick sack 5 times. Justin Jefferson, 7 catches, 74. Jordan Addison, 3 for 26 and a touchdown. Justin Herbert, by the way, your Superchargers are maddeningly inconsistent this year.
I will say, it's their offensive line. They got Joe Alt back this week, and it was a huge difference. They were able to run the ball, they were able to pass the ball and protect Herbert, and they looked like a dominant team that they looked like in the first 3-4 weeks when their offensive line was, cohesive and together.
Good offensive line goes a very long way in this sport, folks. Herbert, 227 through the air, 3 touchdowns and a pick. I mentioned that pick did lead to Minnesota's only touchdown, 62 yards on the ground. To your point about them being able to run the ball, Kamani Vidal, who was on the practice squad when Omari and Hampton got hurt, 23 carries for 117 yards and a touchdown for him. This is like his third good game out of 4. Lad McConkey had 6 for 88 and a score. Oronde Gadsden II, out of seemingly nowhere, has formed a great connection with Herbert. This is like 3 out of 4 big games for him. 5 catches, 77 yards and a touchdown. Quentin Johnston, 0 targets. So that's interesting. That screwed me in a couple of leagues. Anyway, the Chargers never punted in this game. So utter dominance by the San Diego Superchargers.
Yeah, and it's funny because you look at the defense for the Vikings, Brian Flores' defense, you're thinking, man, this is going to be a close game. That the Viking, they got dominated. Like there were just open guys running down the field. They couldn't stop the run. It was like, I don't know if Brian Flores got hoodwinked. Like I don't know what happened, but it didn't look like they had any idea what was going on.
I believe this is like 5 out of 6 weeks now where the home team has won on Thursday Night Football. I think that short week, and I'm not saying that was the only factor, right? Because it wasn't. But I think that short week and having to travel is really screwing some teams up. That's why I am nervous about Baltimore tonight. I think Baltimore is going to win. We'll talk about that later. That's the Week 9 stuff. They are favored by 7.5. I don't like that line, even with Lamar Jackson coming back. Next up for the Chargers, it'll be at the Tennessee Titans on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Hello, Survivor Pools. And Minnesota will go to Detroit. So no rest for the weary when it comes to the Minnesota Vikings. They're in trouble, sitting at 3-4. The Chargers are at 5-3. And now it's the crapback football run is on, folks. We are off and running on blowout week here on the Terranadome because, man, it just gets worse from here. We are going down to Atlanta. Well, Josh, before this game started, who would you have picked to win? Miami at Atlanta.
Well, Miami had the worst rushing defense in the NFL, and Atlanta has arguably the best running back in football. So I would have, hands down, said it's going to be a blowout Atlanta.
Well, it certainly was a blowout, but it was Miami destroying the Atlanta Falcons 34-10, completely out of nowhere. I wonder just how much money came in on the Falcons because how do you pay? You must have paid the whole team not to show up here. Kirk Cousins 34-10 Miami. By the way, Miami improves to 2-6. Atlanta drops to 3-4. Kirk Cousins started for the injured Michael Penix Jr. Results
Michael
bad.
who?
Michael Penix Jr.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's technically not a swear. Kirk Cousins starts for injured Michael Penix. He had a bruise on his Penix, so Kirk Cousins starts. All right, that's only two jokes. Pretty massive win for a Miami team that has looked dead in the water. That's a dead fish joke for weeks now. Cousins was not good. 21 out of 31 for 173 yards and scoreless and pickless. And Bijan Robinson, you mentioned him off the top. Would you believe just 12 touches for 48 yards in this game? Probably the worst career game that he's had. Oh, and he lost the fumble too. God, yeah, say camera or something. That's the second time I've done that. I'm moving around too much. I'm all excited. It's the Terranadome. He's Josh Morris. He's on the show. There you go. So, yeah, bad game for the Falcons. It really just looks like a no-show to me. Kyle.
Yeah, it's weird because, like, so you have Kirk Cousins starting. You want him off your team, right? Like, wouldn't you kind of say, like, hey, we're going against this bad team. Let's air it out. Let's let him fill up the stat sheet. No, they didn't do any of that. And it's not like he was turning the ball over. He didn't have a bad game per se, but they also didn't really try to, like, go after it, felt like, either. Like, they played almost conservative, like, almost like they were trying not to lose instead of trying to win. Does that make sense?
It does, but it does. I mean, I thought the same thing. You're trying to trade him, you should showcase him. Problem with that is that I think Drake London had a hit pointer and didn't play in this game.
That's true. He didn't play.
They have a dually engine in that offense. It's Bijan Robinson, Drake London, and then everybody else. And if you take Drake London away, I don't know. But, Kyle Pitts had 9 catches for 59 yards. Then his other 12 completions netted him 114. I mean, not great stuff. On the other side, it's the tale of two Tuas now, apparently. First it was the terrible Tuas, and now it's the tale of two Tuas because Tua was great in this game. Tua Tagovailoa, 20 out of 26, just 205, but 4 passing touchdowns. Devin Ashan, on 21 touches, had 91 yards, 92 yards, and a touchdown through the air. Ollie Gordon even played 30% of the snaps for Miami. Might be good to have that guy on your dynasty team eventually. And 20-yard touchdown reception for him. Jalen Waddle, 5 for 99 and a score. Malik Washington, 4 for 36 and a score. Long-term prospects, I don't like for this season. I don't like either of these teams for the playoffs. Mm-hmm. But maybe a few efforts like this will save Mike McDaniel's job for yet another season for the Dolphins. I doubt it. Next up, Miami. As I mentioned a minute ago, they host Baltimore on Thursday Night Football. That is tonight at 8:15. We've already mentioned that the Atlanta Falcons will travel to New England. 6-2 Patriots, 3-4 Falcons. Scotty in attendance Sunday, 1 o'clock. More crapback football. You want to guess which one I'm doing next? We're staying in the AFC East.
AFC East. Who else played? Who am I? Oh, the Buffalo game.
Buffalo at Carolina. Buffalo.
That was a trouncing.
Sorry?
I said that was a trouncing.
This was not a game. This was a bit of a track meet for the Bills, I guess, especially James Cook. Buffalo 40, Carolina 9.
That's what we call a get right game right there.
That is a get right game. That's two in a row for them coming out of the bye, actually, I believe, if I've got that right. No, I don't have that right. That was coming out of the bye.
That was coming out of the bye, yeah.
That was coming out of the bye. They went 4-2 into the bye, losing 2 in a row. Carolina falls to 4-4. Buffalo improves to 5-2. Just quickly want to mention, not that this means anything, but Buffalo and the Patriots have beaten Carolina by a combined 82-22 in those 2 games. So Carolina, despite winning 4 games and a couple of them against decent teams, not very good. This game was over just 3 minutes into the third quarter when Allen hit Khalil Shakir for a 54-yard score. You could make a similar thing for the Patriots here, but I'm just going to do it with the Bills and cherry pick it because it fits my narrative better. But the Buffalo Bills, teams that they beat in their combined record, 10-30. 10.
Yeah, and I think 2 weeks ago, after they had lost to you guys, I made the comment the teams they had beaten were 3-21. So it's like they're not beating very good teams.
They're not, but you can only play the schedule that you played. It's the same argument you make for the Patriots. You can make it for the Bills. Their schedule is about to get a lot harder real quick, though. And I'm really only talking about this week. But anyway, Josh Allen only has to throw it 19 times, completes 12 for 163 yards. He threw for a touchdown. He ran for 2 more short ones. Maybe they're doing the tush push now that Philly stopped doing it. James Cook, 19 carries for 216 yards and 2 touchdowns. Surely you wouldn't be stupid enough to trade him away in a dynasty league. Cook now leads the league with a 6.0 yards per carry and 107.6 yards per game. And again, I put it in my notes again, some idiot would still trade him in a dynasty league, though. Even if it's a super flex and you can get Joe Burrow. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Khalil Shakir, 6 catches for 88 and a touchdown. Flip side, Andy Dalton's one cameo of the year was not very good. 175 yards and interception. He lost 2 fumbles. Would you care to take a guess how many points Dalton's 3 turnovers led to?
21.
Pretty close, 17. So, yeah, not great. Chuba Hubbard.
He also like, so Andy Dalton's been in the league forever, it feels
Very
like.
long time.
He also made maybe one of the most juvenile mistakes he could make. I don't know how much of the game you watched. At the end of the half, he took a sack and they had to like rush the field goal unit on. And I don't like the guy missed the kick probably because he was like rushing and they weren't even sure they actually got it off. But it's just like, you've been in the league for how long? You take a sack with, 12 seconds left in the end of a half. Like it's time for you to go. It's time for you to call it quits and hang him up, man.
Yeah, but I think that's a mistake he would have made throughout his career. Nobody ever accused the Red Rifle of being the smartest quarterback on the planet. But yeah, that's a pretty stupid mistake. Chuba Hubbard, 34 and a touchdown on the ground. Rico Dowdle, just 8 carries for 54. Ted McMillan looks legit despite the crap around him. 7 catches for 99 yards. Next up, I know you can't hear that, but it's really annoying the crap out of me. Anyway, it's about to get real for Buffalo because they are going to host Kansas City at 4:25 on Sunday. That is, without a shadow of a doubt, the game of the week in Week 9. Carolina will travel to Green Bay, and their season will not get any easier. Sunday, 1 o'clock. If I may, for just one moment, I am going to segue into the Giants and Philadelphia. So the crap bag blowout theme of the week continues, folks, as we now go to Philadelphia in a rematch with the Giants from 3 weeks ago, where Philadelphia lost 34-17, I believe it was. And as I expected, Philadelphia gets their revenge. 38-20. Philadelphia wins over the G-Men. 6-2 Philadelphia. 2-6 for the Giants. That's not very good. They got their expected revenge game. Game was tied 7-7 after 1. Essentially all Philly after that. It was 24-13 headed into the 4th. I'm sure you saw this. I haven't seen the replay of it because I don't want to see it. Cam Skattebo, nasty injury. Dislocated ankle. That sounds an awful lot like Gordon Hayward late in the first quarter. I don't know if it turned all the way around.
It was hanging and
yeah. You don't want to see that. He's clearly out the rest of the season. That's a bummer. This kid's a fun player for sure. I hate the Giants for a reason that any Patriots fan should understand. I hate the Giants, but it's hard to dislike that kid. That's a loss for the league right there. It's not just for Giants fans. That's a loss for the league.
Yeah, and this game was easily the worst officiated game of the week.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Like, tush push fumble. They called forward progress, which
I remember that. I do remember that.
I don't think I've ever seen it called on that play.
Right.
In the replay, feel free to go look this up on YouTube. Anyone who watched, there's no whistle. There's no whistle.
No.
Kevin Thibodeau clearly has the ball. It's in his hands, and the ref is running out now, blowing the whistle. And then they try to call it forward progress. I mean, Dayball looked like he was going to kill someone. He was infuriated. And then later in the game, they had, I think, like a 70-yard touchdown pass to Slayton, and they called an offensive push-off, and it was egregiously bad because Quinyon Mitchell was grabbing Slayton the entire time. So they're just kind of hand fighting. And then like finally he breaks free and catches the ball and they threw a flag for OPI. I'm like, this is incredible. Now, I didn't care who won. It doesn't make a difference to me. It was brutal to watch, like from an officiating standpoint. It was terrible.
Yeah, replay assist is becoming a real problem. This replay assist stuff is not a replay assist. It's a call in from Vegas. That's what it is. Okay. And you even got players coming out and saying it now, and they will keep saying it until they're told to shut up. Okay. Anyway, quick box score stuff. Jalen Hurts, 179 yards and 4 touchdowns through the air for him. No tush push touchdowns in 4 of the last 5 games for Jalen Hurts. He has no rushing touchdowns 4 out of the last 5 games. Saquon Barkley had his best game of the season. Remember, I called him out the last couple weeks on the show. I'm like, something doesn't look right. Well, something looked right today. 14 carries, 150 yards, and a score for him. 65-yard rushing touchdown came on the second play from scrimmage for Barkley. Setting the tone early. 4 catches, 24 yards, another touchdown there. He also he sustained what's being called a minor day-to-day groin injury. We'll
yeah,
see.
he came up lame on one of those rushes, and in my head I was like, "Oh, offensive player of the year curse."
Saquon, before getting to Philadelphia, certainly had a bit of a lengthy injury history, so we'll be watching that closely. In relief, Tank Bigsby, former Jacksonville Jaguar, Tank Bigsby, 9 carries for 104 yards for him. So the Giants' rush defense was atrocious in this game. Devontae Smith, 6 catches for 84. Dallas Goedert, 2 touchdowns on tight end day. And Jahan Dotson, 40-yard touchdown catch, because A.J. Brown did not play in this game with his troublesome knee that's flaring up again. And it didn't matter. Other side, Darty Party, Jackson Dart, 193 yards, a touchdown of each variety. Scattaboo had a touchdown catch of 16 yards before the injury. Tyrone Tracy, 10 carries for 39 yards in his stead. The Giants have taken a couple of huge lumps here. I mean, we think Philadelphia is probably going to be in the dance towards the end of the playoffs, but the Giants are going nowhere again. And it's because now I think they've lost their best 2 players. So, I don't know. Anything you want to add to that?
No, I mean, you lose your 2 best skill players, it's hard to win in the NFL. Like it really is.
Just is.
And you don't have an elite quarterback right now. Like you have a rookie who's still learning. So if you don't have great skill players around that guy, it makes it even harder. Like I think I said at the beginning of the year, I didn't see him winning more than 5 games, and I definitely don't see it now.
No, definitely not now. They had a shot to win in New Orleans there, and they kind of screwed that up. So I mean, ultimately doesn't matter.
They had Denver on the ropes.
I mean, they shouldn't have lost it. They shouldn't have lost that game. You can't let up 30.
That's 2 games right there where you're 4-4 now.
Yeah, but then you're talking about a different season, I think. But that's the difference in this league, right? And it always has been. The good teams find ways to win. The bad teams find ways to lose. It's just sometimes it's that simple.
Exactly.
Right. So here we go. Philadelphia goes on their bye week, and you must be very excited that the Giants will be hosting the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday at 1 o'clock.
That's what we call a get right game.
Yeah, that is going to be a thrilling slobber knocker of like a 23-17 score right there.
I hope they don't score 17. Fangul.
Yeah, Fangul is right. Speaking of scoring points, we're going to go to maybe the only truly great game of the week, maybe. And it was the New York Jets at the Cincinnati Bengals. No one thought that the Jets were going to win this game at 0-7 after the Bengals just knocked off the Steelers the week before and put up 33 points. No one thought that would happen. But it's this league, and it's the Cincinnati Bengals. You want to talk about 2 joke franchises? Cincinnati, maybe as big a, not maybe, I don't know. It's tough to say. They're not as big a joke as the Browns. The Jets are certainly a joke.
They did just go to a Super Bowl.
They went to a Super Bowl a few years ago. They've gone to a couple Super Bowls, right? 2 or 3. But either way, sorry.
No, well, I was going to say they've gone to 3 that I know of because they lost 2 to the Niners. So
correct, and then they went to the one with Burrow, and I was really rooting for them in that one. So the first thing in my notes, by the way, the New York Jets find a way to get their first win, 39-38. They're now 1-7 on the season. Congratulations, Jets fans. That's going to be one of your 2 wins all season.
Let's actually give a real congratulations to Aaron Glenn, his first win as a head coach. Obviously, that's a big deal for any head coach. So good for you, Mr. Glenn.
And if they're going to be hard to come by, it's hard to win in this league as it is. Never mind being the Jets head coach.
I was going to say, never mind being a coach for the Jets.
Right. Cincinnati goes to 3-5. I thought that they were going to keep themselves in the playoff picture. And the first bullet point that I have in my notes is, okay, just kidding. The Bengals absolutely suck. I'll tell you why.
Trade him to the Niners.
Trade him to the Patriots.
Get out of here.
Trade him somewhere. Do something. But in all actuality, let me tell you this. The Bengals have allowed 27 plus points in 7 straight weeks. They have not.
You're getting on that Baltimore Ravens level now.
No, they're ahead of them now.
Oh, really?
They have the worst scoring defense in the league, and they have a minus 79 point differential in 8 weeks. My goodness. Cincinnati allowed the Jets to score 26 points on 4 straight possessions, including 23 in the fourth quarter. You never hear of these things. Oh, except last week with Denver. Fourth quarter, the Jets scored 3 straight touchdowns and managed to convert 2 two-point conversions. Justin Fields did not throw a pick. You know Justin Fields hasn't thrown a pick? Do you know that? He hasn't thrown a pick.
I did not know that.
He has not thrown a pick. He has the lowest.
You don't throw picks when you only throw for 40 yards in a game. Usually you don't throw it to the other team.
That's true, because you're not throwing it to anybody. You're just throwing it into the dirt. He had 245 yards passing, 244, and a touchdown and 31 yards rushing. Quite a day for Breece Hall and his fantasy managers. 18 carries, 133 yards for Hall. A big-time trade chip for this team. 2 touchdowns, and he threw a 4-yard touchdown pass. No
game-winning touchdown.
Sorry?
He threw the game-winning touchdown.
Threw the game-winning touchdown. They
didn't even trust Fields to do that. They gave it to Breece.
No, you're the running back. You probably played high school football quarterback. You do it. You know, this kid sucks. No Garrett Wilson, no problem for the NYJ. Go figure. You can't make this stuff up. Flip side, Joe Flacco, he's still playing really well.
He still was chucking it around out there.
But you can't. Your defense lets up 39 and 23 in one quarter. What are you supposed to do? Flacco, 21 out of 34, 223. 2 touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. Some controversy over him having the first touchdown. People betting it. I guess there was some kind of controversy or something. I don't know. Chase Brown, 73 yards on the ground and a touchdown, 32 in the air and a touchdown. And Jamar Chase, I just want to talk about this real quick. I guess you must have bet him for over 100 yards or something.
No, I bet him to score a touchdown. That's all I needed him to do.
He did score a touchdown. Am I wrong?
What? No, he didn't score a touchdown.
I had
a 5-legger. I had Goddard, Kittle. I think I had Breece, him, and then one other, and I hit 4 out of 5. And I was like, of all the people, I would have thought with Flacco, Jamar, but I think he had like 12 catches or something stupid.
He did. 12 catches for 91 yards for Chase on 19 targets. I just want to mention this quickly. Chase has been targeted 54 times in the 3 games that Flacco has been the starting quarterback. That's 18 targets a game. That's insane. Leads. It's ridiculous, right? He leads the league with 99 targets. That's 16 more than the next closest guy. And he leads the league with 70 catches through 8 weeks. That's 14 more than the next closest guy. And I think you know who that is. It's Christian McCaffrey, second in the league in receptions.
That's insane.
I know. And he only had 3 on Sunday. We're getting to that game very shortly. Second in receiving yards in the league to only Jackson Smith-Njigba, my guy. 720 yards for him. T. Higgins had a 44-yard touchdown catch for his only catch of the game in this one. Flacco clearly loves Chase and does not care for Higgins that much. That's because Chase is far better. Anyway, next week, the Jets are rewarded with a bye week after winning their first game of the season. And the Bengals, I'm getting distracted by yowling in the friggin' room behind me. Cincinnati is hosting the Chicago Bears on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Joe Flacco is questionable for that game. He might not play. He's got a sprained AC joint in his throwing shoulder. That's not great for a 3-5.
He'll show up. He'll show up. He'll ball out.
He's Flacco. He'll show up. We have faith in the great Joe Flacco. I still have to get the jersey. Oh, boy. All right. Let's do Chicago-Baltimore next. Chicago-Baltimore. We are about to round out the 1 o'clock slate. I think I've got 2 more left. Baltimore gets their first win without Lamar Jackson, and it was an important one. They needed this one. Baltimore finally wins a game without Lamar, 30-16 over Chicago. There was some controversy before this game as well, if you recall, because the opening line was 6.5. Lamar Jackson practiced all week and then was ruled out on Saturday after a lot of bets were placed, obviously, on the Chicago plus 6.5. It went down to like 2.5 for the game. So I guess some people were pissed about that. I bet Chicago plus 6.5, and naturally it didn't matter because, of course, Baltimore magically scores 30 points after that controversy happens, but probably nothing Um, I don't know. What are you? I we were flipping back and forth on this. I was watching with my pops, so I didn't have a chance to see a lot of this game. But it seemed very boring from what.
I was gonna say I didn't even see much of it come through on red zone, except when Derrick Henry was running into the end zone. Like other than that, I didn't really see much of it.
Yeah, I mean, so we'll go over it quick. After getting out to a 6-0 lead, he got to 6-0 lead after one by the Bears. They allowed 16 unanswered points. DeAndre Swift touchdown put them up within 3 with 12:44 to go, but then Baltimore put them away after that. Considering the Bears had been riding a 4-game win streak and the Baltimore Ravens are on their third quarterback of the year, this is actually kind of an impressive win to me. Tyler Huntley touchdown to some guy named Charlie Kohler with 8 minutes left to go, put it away. After Bears get a field goal, Derrick Henry puts the exclamation point on it with a TD run just before the 2-minute warning. Baltimore wins 30-16. They improve to a lovely 2-5 on the season, and the Bears fall to 4-3.
Just what everyone had picked for Baltimore, 2-5.
Yes, but I'm going to tell you something right now. They're getting Lamar Jackson back, and this is their upcoming schedule over the next 7 weeks. Get ready for this. Baltimore's not done. They're not. And I'll tell you why. Their defense is getting healthy, first of all. But they're at Miami, at Minnesota, at Cleveland. Then they are at home against Cincinnati, home against the Jets, home against Pittsburgh. I could see them going 5-2, 6-1, and that's true.
I was going to say 5-2 sounds about right.
I could see them doing that because the combined record of those 7 opponents is 15-31. So I could see it happening. Defense is clearly getting healthier because they've held 2 good offenses to 17 and 16 points, respectively, in their last 2 games. They still have a good shot at the North because they're only 2 games back of the Steelers, which we'll get to later. Their next good opponent does not come until December 21st. Who do you think that is? That's right. That's your next good opponent in Baltimore, 8 weeks away. So they have a very good chance to get back on track. Tyler Huntley, 186 yards. Dare I say, maybe his best game as a pro with a touchdown and 53 yards on the ground. Henry, 72 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Zay Flowers, 7 catches for 63. Flip side, Caleb Williams had one of those games where you're like, why? 25 out of 38, 285 and a score. DeAndre Swift had 11 for 45 on the ground and a score. Roma Dunze continues to bust out. 7 catches for 114 for him. DJ Moore's best game of the season is 4 catches for 73 yards. Zacchaeus, I don't even remember his first name, and I don't mean any disrespect to Zacchaeus, but
is it Olamide?
Yeah, I think that's it. There you go. Thank you very much. Thank you for knowing that. He had 7 catches for 33 yards. So you think these two teams the Bears won 4 in a row? What are they? They're
an enigma. They're an enigma. We really still don't know.
Jackson Smith enigma.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I'm still like I wasn't sold on them after they, won, I think 4 in a row it was. I still wasn't like all in on them, and then they lose to a Lamar Jackson-less Ravens. So I'm like, you can't buy their stock right now. You can't yet.
No, I don't think so either. And especially when you consider the 2 of those 4 wins were like last second pull it out of your ass wins. Yeah,
it was against the Raiders, right? 25-24.
That was one of them. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the other one.
One was against, I want to say, Dallas.
I thought Dallas. Yeah,
where they made Caleb Williams look like an MVP.
Yeah.
So yeah, they don't have the resume yet to really be like, yeah, they're an elite team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, they're definitely not elite. I do think they're the 3rd best team in the NFC North, though, just because of how bad Minnesota has got it going right now. Next up, those Bears, as we already mentioned, will be at Cincinnati Sunday, 1 o'clock. 3-5 versus 4-3. And Baltimore is at Miami to take on the 2-6 Dolphins tonight. So we will see there. One more game in the 1 o'clock window, and I bet you know which one it is. The San Francisco 49ers travel to the Houston Texans. He's like, I don't even want to talk about it. I just saw it.
No. I was furious watching this game.
I bet you were, and I'm going to let you have it I'm going to let you have the floor in 1 second. Houston, 26. San Francisco, 15. Did not think that San Francisco, the line should have given this one away, right? But yeah. I did not think San Francisco would lose this game. Houston improves to 3-4. San Francisco drops to 5-3. I thought this was maybe the injuries finally catching up to the 49ers, but I'm saying
Definitely was. Absolutely.
okay. So why don't you go ahead and then I'll do the box stuff after.
Yeah. So yeah, like you said, the injuries catching up to you. They could not stop Will Anderson. They could not block anyone, and they couldn't play defense. And the injuries clearly caught up to you defensively, which I think the trade they just made was a knee-jerk reaction to last week because you couldn't get to the quarterback. Stroud, who has not had a good year, threw for over 300 yards. I think he threw like 6 incompletions. You got no pressure on him at all. I will say, on a high note for the Niners, they got their first interception, ready for this, in 15 games.
What?
15 games. It was the
What?
first time they had an interception.
What?
In 15 games. That's
That sounds
they said it on the broadcast, and I almost fainted.
That's
I was
unbelievable.
Like, 15 games without catching a ball from the other team. That's insane. And it's because you can't get any pressure. You can't cause the quarterback to make a bad pass. And again, Stroud hasn't done anything all year. He threw for 300 yards and threw like 16 completions. It was mind-boggling to watch. They finally made a trade. They made a trade. They got Keion White. We'll see how that works. But I still think you need to do more.
Good luck. Yeah,
I think you need to do more.
You need to do more than Keion White.
Stop.
No, 1 sack in his last 20 games.
That's fine. They're going to use
it's not.
They're going to use him more as a defensive tackle. You guys used him more as a defensive end.
Correct.
When you did use him as a defensive tackle, he was very good for you guys. So the guy's 6'5", 280 pounds. Like,
gotta do something.
Like I'd say clog him in the middle and put him next to the kid from Georgia, Michael Williams, right? Put him next to him. Let them go at it. What's up, bud?
Sorry, I just heard today. Bert Breer reported that Bill Belichick wanted to draft Keion White in the first round instead of Christian Gonzalez a few years ago. Just saying. Unbelievable. Bill lost it long time ago. Continue.
Or that might just be them, stoking the fire.
Could be.
Yeah, so I think the Niners, again, they had a first time starting, well, not first time starting, but first time starting for the Niners center. He hadn't started a game in like 2.5 years. They have a rookie at left guard. Like, you can tell the offensive line had no continuity whatsoever. McKivitz was getting killed by Anderson all game long. As much as I'd love to poop on Mac Jones, I can't completely blame him because he was literally under duress all game. I mean, he didn't play a great game, but when you're, running for your life all game and he can't run, you're not going to do well.
No, sir. Just quickly, by the way, CJ Stroud, 9 incompletions. We're pretty close. Houston out to a 16-0 lead until 25 seconds left in the half. George Kittle with 17-yard touchdown catch. That 16-7 margin was as close as the 49ers would get. Easy 26-15 win. CJ Stroud, 30 out of 39. Yes, does not come close to that yet this season.
No.
318 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Woody Marks, 62 yards.
Throwing to third and fourth stringers.
Yeah, I mean, Nico Collins didn't play in this game.
Nope.
Right. Yeah, that's got to be pretty annoying for a 49ers fan right there. So no Nico Collins in this game, no problem. Xavier Hutchinson had 5 catches for 69 yards. And Jalen
Noel, he went off.
Jalen Noel went off too. And then I've got Higgins here too, 4 for 34 and a touchdown. Woody Marks, 62 yards on the ground. Nick Chubb, he might be all done, folks. 17 carries for 56 yards. That's no good. Flippity flop side, Mac 10. Remember, he patented that his rookie year with the Patriots. Mac 10. I think I have a mini helmet.
That's not contentious.
Not at all. I think I have a signed mini helmet, and he has Mac. It says he autographed it. My buddy got it for me as a joke gift last year for Christmas. I still have it. I think it says Mac 10 on it. Not even kidding. 119 out of 32, 193, 2 touchdowns and an interception for Mac. Run CMC. I think they were taking care of him in this game. Just 11 touches, 25 yards on the ground, 3 catches for 43 yards through the air. Kittle 4 for 43 and a touchdown. And Jake Tongus, I just say Tongues, 2-yard touchdown reception. Anything you want to add before I move on from this one?
No, I'm glad that John Lynch. I think after they played Atlanta and they played them so well, I think John Lynch had like this false confidence of like we don't need to go get people. And it's like no, you can't get to the quarterback, and when you can't get to the quarterback, I don't care how good your corners are, how good your secondary are. No one can cover for that long. Like you can't have a quarterback sitting back there for 3-4 seconds. Like it doesn't work in the NFL. So yeah, so I'm glad it sparked him to make a move. I hope he makes more. I hope he goes after Hendrickson. Like he's a rental. Go get him. If you want any chance of making a run, you can't make a run with this defense. It's not going to work.
No, sir. Now, your Niners, as we mentioned, they will go to the Meadowlands to play the Giants at 1 o'clock on Sunday. 2-6 Giants, 4-3 49ers. Houston will host the Denver Broncos Sunday at 1 o'clock. And speaking of the Denver Broncos, we move into the late window on Sunday, folks, and we're going right back to crap bag blowout football.
The crap.
Here we go. The Dallas Cowgirls, who I thought were going to be a lot better in this game, they get trounced in Denver, 44-24. Denver improves to 6-2. Dallas drops to 3-4-1. And another
Denver's defense is very good.
Denver's defense is very good. I'm about to get to that actually. But in the case of the Dallas Cowgirls, that defense is not going to get better this year.
They stink.
They're not good. Remember,
and they lost Trayvon Diggs, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
but
for 4 weeks or something like that. So
same team that let Rico Dowdle run for over 200 yards against them. I think it was that game.
yeah,
my phone won't stop going off.
All-purpose yards that game.
My phone, yeah. So Denver's rolled off 77 points in the last 2 weeks. They're now top 10 in the league scoring offense, or 207. They are the 5th best scoring defense in the league. So that defense is for real. They also only have 4 turnovers combined in their last 7 games.
Wow.
Yes, indeed. They are playing good football, the Denver Broncos.
I was going to say, that is a recipe for winning football.
It is, and they should have lost last week, but good teams find ways to win. They found a way to win. Dallas pulled it within 4 at 14-10 halfway through the second. They would never get closer than that in this game. R.J. Harvey's second of 3 touchdowns on the day would put Denver up 20-10. Broncos would score again after a Dallas 3-and-out to go into the half 27-10. Game's over at that point, folks. 44-24, Denver all day. Dallas never recovers. Bo Nix, 4 touchdowns through the air. He did throw a pick, 247 yards, 4 touchdowns. J.K. Dobbins, 15 carries for 111. R.J. Harvey did not play many snaps in this game, but he did have 7 carries for 46 yards and 2 touchdowns and 1 more through the air on my bench. But that's okay. I won anyway. I was on my bench in several leagues, actually. Didn't see that one coming. Troy Franklin, 6 catches for 89 yards and 2 touchdowns. He and Bo Nix played together at Oregon. That probably has something to do with it. They were drafted the same year. Pat Bryant, 2 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown. I will say, yeah, right. There you go. Sorry.
I drafted him in our Dynasty League.
That's all right. You never know. But somewhat of a bit of an issue for the Broncos is Patrick Surtain, the second. I remember his dad. We both remember his dad playing, and his dad was very good too.
I was going to say he was elite.
He was very good. This kid is also very, very good. He's going to be out for a little while. I believe he strained his pec and is going to be out for a little while. So that could be a problem for the Denver secondary, maybe. Dak Prescott, not very good. The Denver defense stymied him. 19 out of 31, 188 yards, 2 picks, no touchdowns. And the second interception resulted in a Denver touchdown. Joe Milton's cannon arm got into the game at one point. Dallas is getting blown out so bad. And Javonte Williams, in his return to Denver, 13 carries for 41 yards and 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns are nice, but probably wanted to rack up some yards. CeeDee Lamb, 7 catches, 74. George Pickens, 7 catches, 78. Jalen Tolbert, 2 for 47, a touchdown. You want to add anything about either of these 2 teams? I know you probably dislike both of them, actually.
I don't dislike Denver that much. I think Denver, their defense is really good. Their offense, I mean, I don't know. Are you sold on Bo Nix? I'm not really sold on him. I feel like they're still playing with kid gloves with him. Like they still have the kid gloves on him. They're not really opening up everything for him yet. At least that feels like that to me. Why?
Hungry?
I mean, I still think Denver. I think it's them. I know Kansas City's coming on, but I like Denver and LA for that division. think it might come down to the end of the year. I think those teams are really good. Their defenses are good, offenses are good. So we obviously know the Cowboys stink. Like it is what it is. Their offense is very good, but when their offense can't put up 30 points, and again their defense lets up 40, like you can't win like that. You just can't.
Anyone like that. To me, Bo Nix looks like he has the potential to be really, really good. But
Yes.
yeah, like I think a good example of this. He also is a guy that can look like crap for 3 quarters and then pull out magic out of his ass.
Mm.
I think a good example of this was last year in their playoff game that they lost to Buffalo in Buffalo, where he threw a beautiful, beautiful deep ball for a score, their first drive of the game, and then they didn't let him throw the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it never feels like you look at some of his box scores, it doesn't look like they're like, you know what, let's put it on Bo. You know what I mean?
No, almost never. And I mean, they can do that where you have a good running game. You got 2 good running backs now. You can do that. But at some point, you're going to need a quarterback to go win you a game, especially in the playoffs. You're going to need it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we already mentioned Denver. Excuse me. Thank you. Denver at Houston. 3-4 Houston, 1:00 Sunday. Dallas will host Arizona on Monday Night Football. That is not going to be a fun watch on Monday night.
Arizona Monday night. Nice.
Arizona 2-5 coming off their bye on a 5-game losing streak. Monday Night Football, 8:15 Monday. Okay, I've got one that we are going to spend next to no time on because this was putrid all the way around. More crap bag blowout football. But Tampa Bay didn't play well either. 23-3. Tampa Bay goes down to New Orleans and beats the Saints, which is not impressive at all. Tampa Bay does get it right, 6-2. New Orleans drops to 1-7. 1-7. There was only one offensive touchdown in this entire game, and it was a Sean Tucker 1-yard run 5 minutes into the second half. Baker Mayfield threw for 152 yards, lost a fumble, and cost me in a guillotine league that I am now out in, even though I had a great team. They need Bucky Irving back because their 2 backs combined for 25 carries and 77 yards. Tez Johnson was their leading receiver at 5 catches for 43. Flip side, for the Saints, Spencer Rattler finally got benched. Remember, he, again, had only turned the ball over 1 time going into last week, and now he's turned it over 5 times since. He goes for 136 yards and interception. He loses a fumble, and they bring in Tyler Shuck in the second half. And I'm not kidding. That is how his name is pronounced. Shuck then proceeds to go 17 out of 30 for 128 with a pick of his own. Alvin Kamara, 8 touches for 45 yards. Rashid Shaheed, 9 catches, 75. Chris Olave, 8 for 63 on 12 targets. Chris Olave has the second most targets in the NFL with 86. But this team, he would probably prefer to be traded to another team that actually has a chance of winning. Olave played at Ohio State. He knows what winning is, what winning feels like. He's not going to feel that there in New Orleans. Anything you want to add?
It's funny, too, because I was thinking about it while you were going over the game. Like, Alvin Kamara made a comment about how if he got traded, he would retire. Like, why would you want to continue to... He said, if I get traded, I'm going to be drinking pina coladas. Like, as in, like, I'm going to quit. And it's like, why? Why
That's
would you...
Pretty defeatist attitude.
I mean, I get it. You're loyal, but, like, why? Why would you want to continue on a losing team? I think he's 31 years old. Like,
yeah, he is.
You're on the back 9. Why wouldn't you want to play for a championship?
That's very odd. That's an odd comment. Nope, I got my money. I love New Orleans. Hooday, I'm happy. Fine, but you haven't. How many games have you won in the last 3 years, bro? You know what I mean? 4, even. Man, but the Bucks get an ugly win. That's what good teams do to bad teams. Sometimes, you win ugly even though you don't have it, which they didn't on that day. Tampa goes to 6-2. Like I said, 1-7 for the Saints. Another lost year for them. And really seems like a directionless franchise, too. But that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, especially because, you drafted a quarterback. He's not that good.
No, and no one thought he was going to be any good either. So, directionless franchise, I think. They're going to be muddled in the swamps down there in the bayou for a long time.
You got to sell this week, right?
Sorry?
You got to sell this week, right? Like, that's...
Yeah, the deadline is next Tuesday, right?
November 4th. So, like, you've been in cap jail.
Wednesday.
I mean, you had Carr retire this year, which gets that off the books. Like, You can get Olave off the books. I don't know if they have any other big contracts, but it's like clean it up. Like just blow it up. You're 1-7. You're not going on a winning streak. What are you winning? 4 or 5 games this year. Get some picks. Get some assets. Do something. Like
Might
you're
have
just
the number 1 pick.
right. Like just do something. Like because no one wants to watch you suck every year.
No, it's especially since I was such
Especially
a big.
because they're not the like Jets. They're not the Browns. Like we don't put them in that group. They won a Super Bowl.
Thanks to the great Drew Brees, and yes, they've fallen a very long way from that. They're not. It's not going to get East. They're going to go 1-8 because they're going to LA to take on the Rams on Sunday.
Yeah.
The Rams coming off a
Coming
bye,
Yeah.
bye at 5-2.
Survivor.
That's my survivor pool pick this week. Yep, absolutely. 4:05 game. Tampa Bay gets a much needed bye week, and hopefully they can get a little healthier coming out of that bye week. Now we get to talk about not only the comeback player of the year, but probably someone that should be getting MVP consideration at this point, because the Indianapolis Colts are just are their wagon right now. And yes, they've played some bad teams. That's true. But they whoop up on Tennessee 38-14 in our last game of the 4 o'clock window.
Any team playing Tennessee should do this.
Any team that's playing Tennessee should do this. How dare the Patriots only beat them by 18 points? Indianapolis, league best, 7-1, 38-14 final.
Just like everyone had it drawn up.
I certainly did. I literally bet them to be the worst team in the league because I'm a moron. Tennessee is terrible, and they are. They're dog crap. But the Colts are really a juggernaut right now. Both of those things appear to be true. Some quick Colt stats for you. They now have the number 1 offense in the football at 33.8 points per game, and the 6th best scoring defense. They're doing it on both sides of the ball. And Josh, if not for a ridiculously stupid boneheaded play by Adonai Mitchell with the receiver dropping the ball before he gets into the end zone against the Rams, we're probably talking about an 8-0 Indianapolis Colts team.
Absolutely.
100%. Daniel Jones, he's the man. Who would have thought? All it took was leaving friggin' New York. 21 out of 29. 272 yards and 3 scores for Jones. He's 4th in the league in yards, 5th in QB rating, 6th in pass yards per game, 3rd in yards per attempt, and tied for 2nd in yards per completion, and 3rd in completion percentage. It's stories like Jones's that make it fun every year in football. There's always something like this, and we all know I have no love for the Colts at all. Okay? It was fun to whoop their ass a bunch of times, though. By the way, what we'll take away from Jones's MVP consideration, and obviously he won't win it, right? But Jonathan Taylor is unbelievable again. This is like the 3rd year out of the last 5. He's been incredible. Only 12 carries, but 153 yards, 2 scores for Taylor, 2 more scores, and he added 1 through the air. Taylor
leads the league in touchdowns, right?
Leads the league in attempts, rush yards, rushing touchdowns, and plays from yards from scrimmage. 4 categories Jonathan Taylor leads in.
Here right now.
Most likely. Their receivers all had pretty good days. Pittman 8 for 95 and a score. Alec Pierce, I think he leads the league in yards per catch. He had 2 for 69. Tyler Warren, the tight end, first round pick. Very good. 4 catches for 53. Josh Downs, 3 for 39 and a score. Titans stats are less impressive. They do have one emerging receiver. Sorry?
I said you don't say.
Yes, they weren't that good. Throw for 259. It's a touchdown and a pick. Pollard ran for 44.
59?
What?
He threw for 259?
259.
Wow.
I don't know. Because he threw it to Shamir DK, whose name is spelled differently, but it's pronounced DK, which also sounds funny if you think about it. He is emerging as their number 1 receiver without Calvin Ridley there. 7 catches for 93 yards for him. Again, I think I might have even started him. Dynasty. I picked that kid in Dynasty. I haven't let you be able to talk about the Colts, how awesome the Colts are. Do you want to do that now?
No. I think we both agree they're probably the best team in football right now. You said offensive. You said comeback player of the year. That kind of hurts me because I did pick CMC at the beginning of the year. So I'm hoping that he slows down just a little so Christian can overtake him.
Didn't
But
Christian McCaffrey already win comeback player of the year once?
so
So how can you win it twice? You got to come back twice.
because he was out all year last year.
I'm aware of that.
All year.
I know. I think he's got to pop a little bit more. McCaffrey. He's been consistent and stuff, but like he's not like all worldly or anything. Meanwhile, Daniel
Well, no,
Jones.
because he hasn't been able to get any rushing yards because the Niners can't block anybody.
Yeah, that's a good point. So the 7-1 Colts, they will travel to Pittsburgh for a 1 o'clock game on Sunday. Tennessee will host the Chargers Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Ooh.
Speaking of those Pittsburgh Steelers, we've got 2 games left to go here, Josh. And this one is the Aaron Rodgers Bowl. Green Bay at Pittsburgh. I was sure that Rodgers would beat Green Bay. I was absolutely certain of it. But instead, he does not become the 6th quarterback in NFL history to beat all 32 teams. Pittsburgh led this one 19-14 going into the 4th quarter and proceeded to melt the F down. That's in my notes. Packers scored on 5 straight possessions from the beginning of the 3rd quarter up until their final drive, and they were up by 10 and simply killing clock. Packers scored 21 unanswered points in the 4th quarter to go up 35-19. A Rodgers touchdown pass to Roman Wilson, who for some reason went for $61, bid in a dynasty league, absolutely ridiculous. Made it 2:07 left. That was just personal gripe. I bid 10.
Personal gripe. That friggin' trash time touchdown lost me my game this week.
Why? Because we were playing Rodgers?
I was playing against Rodgers and I lost by 4 points.
Ew. Well, I'm sure you're going to want to talk about this game. Pittsburgh never got it back again. Final score 35-25 Packers. They go to 5-1-1. They should be 6-1, but they're idiots.
Well, that's what happens when you coach like a wuss.
Right. Don't tie Dallas. And then Pittsburgh drops to 4-3. They dropped to 4-3. Rodgers, 24 out of 36, 219 and 2 scores. Jalen Warren, 62 on the ground. Kenneth Gainwell, 31, lost a fumble. Gainwell's fumble led to a field goal that made it 35-19. DK Metcalf, 5 catches, 55 yards and a score. Roman Wilson, 4 for 74 and a score. Jordan Love, 360 yards and 3 touchdowns for him. I'm not sure what's going on with Josh Jacobs, but he's still evenly splitting carries with other running backs. Tucker Kraft. Sorry?
He's had a calf strain for 2 weeks, so every week he's questionable. I think they're trying to make sure he doesn't get hurt.
They're nursing it. Too bad they already had their bye week. Tucker Kraft, 7 catches, 143 yards, and 2 scores. Christian Watson comes back from an ACL, 4 catches for 85. I take it you watched this game, so is there any observations you can give me from it? Because I did not watch it. Spoiler alert.
Pittsburgh's defense stinks.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
It's unreal. I don't understand how you stink that much when, I think they have the highest salary cap for a defense. And in the first, 4 to 5 weeks, they looked pretty dang good.
I thought so too.
And
They turned the Pats over.
Last 2.
Turned the Pats over 5 times. They turned the Patriots over 5 times in week 3. Yeah.
I think the last 2 weeks you've let up over 30 points now. So it's like it's mind-boggling.
68 points in the last 2 games. Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a fix for it. Like all of a sudden they're going to be back to what they were, or maybe they were pretenders in those first. They faced. No, because Cincinnati's not a very good team. So you did face a good team this week, but the last week you didn't. So I don't know what we might have, like an AFC North being won at 9-8, 10-7.
Kind of feeling that way. Yeah, I don't think
might be the win.
Yeah, no one's winning 11 games in that division.
In Green Bay, I think it's going to come down to week 17, 18. Them and the Lions, and because they have that tie, God only knows what it's going to look like.
Yeah, it's probably going to work in their favor. My barber, full disclosure, he's a big Steelers fan. He has been all his life. And what he's told me about the defense is that they're aging quickly. Their 2 starting safeties are now the 2 Patriots cast-offs after they traded for Kyle Duggar. They have Kyle Duggar and Jabril Peppers back there starting at safety. That's not great. Is Minka Fitzpatrick still there? Did he get traded?
And
Jalen Ramsey. These are all guys that are north of 30 though.
And then they got Queen from Baltimore a couple years ago in free agency.
Yep. He's young. Yeah.
TJ Watt. I mean, like
They should be better. They should be
on
better.
paper, their defense is freaking good.
It is. Maybe this will be the year for Tomlin. How many years have I said that? Anyway, but they're not gonna get any easier for them. They're gonna host the Colts on Sunday at 1, Indy 7-1, Pittsburgh 4-3. Green Bay will get the 4-4 Carolina Panthers at home Sunday at 1 o'clock. Just one more game in week 8. Mercilessly, this is almost done, folks. It's the Washington, and we don't have to spend any time on this either, except because I don't want to ball wash the Chiefs too much, and that's all we're gonna do.
Yeah.
On Monday Night Football, there was no Jaden Daniels for Washington Commanders, and they got commanded. Okay, they got whooped, and Kansas City probably could have scored more than 28 points. It's 28-7 final. Kansas City was now reeled off 4 in a row, and to be honest, Josh, it's hard to believe that they've lost 3 games this season with how they've been playing. They are playing far better than they played last year.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The last 3-4 weeks they've looked dominant.
Exactly.
Like we knew their defense was good, right? Their defense was good last year, but their offense was just in turmoil last year. And this year they look like they did that year that Mahomes threw 50 touchdowns. They had Tyreek, and they like their offense just seems to be clicking.
It is. So basically, Commanders made it 7-7 in this game with 1 minute to go in the first half. They never scored again.
And I mean, you didn't expect much with Mariota under center.
No, he's a backup now for a reason. He failed as a starter. That's why he's a backup. Mahomes, 25 out of 34, 299 yards and 3 scores. He did throw 2 picks, but in typical Chiefs lucky fashion, neither of those INTs led to Washington points. Isaiah Pacheco, 12 carries, 58. Kareem Hunt, 9 for 40 and a score. He added a 2-yard touchdown reception. In this little breakout with the Chiefs offense is only being aided by the fact that you've got Rashee Rice back, and Rashee Rice fully healthy and motivated. 9 catches for 93 and a score for him in his first 2 games back off of suspension for being a really crappy human being and an even worse driver. 16 catches, 135 yards, and 3 scores in 2 games for Rashee Rice. Oh, and by the way, there's another guy that's somehow finding the fountain of youth. Questionable, but this is not the show for this kind of topic. Travis Kelce, 6 catches for 99 yards and a score. His 3 receiving touchdowns already equals all of last year's total in half the games, and he's averaging 12.8 yards per catch. That's his highest mark in 5 years. The fountain of youth, right? Oh yeah, Xavier Worthy, 5 catches for 53 yards too. Marcus Mariota, 213, a score, and 2 picks for Washington. Their team combined for 60 rushing yards. Terry McLaurin, 3 catches for 54 yards and the only touchdown, but re-injured his quad and is out for week 9. Deebo Samuel, just 3 catches for 11. You need Jaden Daniels to have a chance. You better hope he's not RG3, the second coming of RG3, Washington. What do you... we didn't expect, right? We didn't expect the Commanders to be this, like they weren't going to be as good as they were last year, right? Like they overachieved last year. Did we think they were going to be 3-5 either?
Well, no, but I also don't. I mean, Daniels hasn't been healthy most of the year.
Nope.
Right? What's he played? 3-4 games?
4, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, they might be 2-2 in those games. But you know, I mean, I think I said it at the beginning of the year. I expected a little bit of decline or whatever you want to call it, regression from Daniels, only because that's what you expect in a second-year quarterback. You expect the league to catch up with him a little bit, and then that's the real test for a quarterback to see if he can adjust and figure out the league. Well, he hasn't had a chance because he keeps getting hurt, but maybe that's on him. Like, stop running the ball, stop taking unnecessary hits, stop trying to be Superman. Like that doesn't work in the NFL. These guys are faster, they're stronger, they're gonna hit you. Like, it's not college anymore. You can't just run around and run in circles and do all these pirouettes and make people miss. You might do that every once in a while, but in the NFL, they're way better. They're way better. So these young quarterbacks, like you saw it, last week for you guys. Like, when I saw Drake May take that hit, I like imagined you in your house, like screaming at the TV, telling him to get down. Because it's just like, you can't do that in the NFL. Like, these guys hit hard. Like, how did Tom Brady get his start?
Because Drew Bledsoe
Bledsoe got
got,
decapitated.
yeah, he almost got killed. Yeah, that's
Like,
pretty much out.
like these guys, if they have the chance to hit a quarterback, I swear these guys like they live for it. Like they get pumped. So just go down. Just don't go for the extra yard. Just slide.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. The other thing too is I think a year's worth of film on Daniels might have something to do with it. Because the game looks sped up on him, whereas it always looked to me last year like he was a step ahead of the game, and there was a whole thing about how he uses VR to train. And he does it at one and a quarter times speed, so he's always ahead and all that. Seems like when he has been out there this year, it's been a little different for him. Meanwhile, the Kansas City Chiefs and those of us that prayed for the downfall of Mahomes and the Chiefs, not happening this year. Not happening. They're still good. They're still going to be in the conversation all year long. I am
I
very.
will say though, those three losses are hurting them right now because they're third in their division, correct?
They're tied with the Chargers. They lost to the Chargers,
They
right?
lost to the Chargers, right? So right
they're
now,
essentially third. Yeah, 5-3, but in third place. Or are they 4-3? They're 4-3, 5-3. Yeah,
no, they're 5-3. They're 5-3, right?
yeah. I'm an idiot.
They
Yes,
haven't had
they
their
are.
bye.
What?
They haven't had their bye yet.
No, they haven't. And they won't next week either. Game of the week: KC at Buffalo. Both 5-win teams. Sunday at 4:25. Washington's life does not get easier. They will host the Seattle Seahawks off of their bye. Seattle 5-2 on Sunday Night Football.
Seattle's playing very well. Their defense is playing very, very well.
Yes, they are. And Big D, Sam Darnold, baby, is also playing very well. And Jackson Smith-Njigba is having an all-pro season. So it's not going to be a picnic for Washington, who are staring 3-6 in the face on Sunday night. That's it for week 8, folks. That's it for week 8. Thank you for sticking with us. It's the Terranadome. We're well over an hour in at this point. Oh, yeah, Josh Morris, he's on the show.
We're not doing our 4-pack?
No, we're doing a 6-pack, buddy. Doing a
Oh.
6-pack of picks for week number 9.
Okay, I thought you sounded like you were closing out the show on me.
I know. I see. I duped you. I juked everybody on that one. See, I still got some agility despite my frame. Okay, give me a break, guy. Anyway, you want to wing a preview on tonight? Baltimore at Miami, 2-2-win teams. I think these two teams are still going in very different directions. 2-5 Baltimore at Miami, and
when I looked on my phone today and I was like, oh, who's playing tonight? I was like, ugh. I was like, question if I even want to watch it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just you expect, obviously. Miami, again, one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL. You have Lamar back, you have King Henry. Like, you expect Baltimore to come out and absolutely run the ball down their throat. Will it happen? I don't know. But I mean, that's what I expect. I don't even think this game is going to be close. Like, I say 28-9.
28-9. That's an interesting score.
Like, Miami might not even score a touchdown. That's what I'm saying.
I have a weird feeling that this will be a closer game. This is the first of our 6-pack of pickle pepper picks this week for week number 9. I know I'm not even a dad, and that was terribly lame dad joke. But Baltimore is 7.5-point favorites in this game. I am taking Miami plus 7.5.
I know you just said the home thing with the traveling stuff.
Right, but Baltimore's going to win this game.
Yes,
Baltimore is going to win this game. I have the over on points too, which is like 51.5 or something. It's
really
they're scoring points tonight, baby. They're down in Miami. The weather's warm. They're scoring points tonight. Let's go. 35-31 Baltimore or something stupid like that. I'll take it.
Wow, that's a lot.
I will take it. I will also take a King Henry touchdown in that game, which was like minus 280 or something. So you tell me what's going to happen. I think I know what's going to happen.
You always expect him to score.
You do, especially against a putrid run defense that for some reason was able to shut down Bijan Robinson.
Well, probably because they're looking at it as, all right, Kirk beat us.
Right. So, exactly. And speaking of Bijan Robinson, next game up on the slate. Atlanta, 5.5-point underdogs, Sunday at 1 o'clock at New England. At New England. I will be there. Not that that matters, but
I was going to say, you were there last year when they lost to the Rams, so I don't know. That's not helping you.
I haven't seen a home win in person in like 3 years, but go on.
Okay, I'm going with Atlanta.
You're going Atlanta plus 5.5, or you're going with Atlanta money line?
No, I was messing with you. No, I'm gonna take Pats with the points.
Pats with the points. Pats by 10. on Sunday, folks. That seems conservative given what Miami just did, but this league is just all over the place. It all depends on the money. Next up, San Francisco, only 2.5-point favorites at the Giants Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Really, 2.5, huh?
That's it. 2.5.
I'm taking the Niners 2.5.
Yeah, I take the Niners 2.5 too, even if
I don't care how bad our defense is. Like, no one on the Giants should scare you from an offensive standpoint.
No, they shouldn't. Hopefully, I'm guessing that Brock Purdy's out another week based on this line, but give me San Francisco minus 2.5. Next up, another peculiar line for a team going to Houston this week. This time, it's the Denver Broncos 1.5-point underdogs to the Houston Texans. Sunday at 1 o'clock. 1.5-point underdogs for the 6-2 Broncos at Houston. What's going on there?
I don't know. Vegas knows something we don't.
Clearly.
Like that's not right. That's not right. 6-2, 3-5, right?
3-4.
3-4. Like, no. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think the Texans are a terrible team. Like, their defense is pretty good. But CJ Stroud has not, you know what? No, I'm not even going to talk myself out of it. I'm taking Denver.
I think that's a logical and completely reasonable thing to do. And since it burned me last week and it looks like it's too weird of a line again, I'll take the Houston Texans to beat. I guess it wouldn't be an upset. I'll take the Houston Texans to beat the Denver Broncos. Sunday, 1 o'clock. First thing we've disagreed on. The next one that I've got here is the Indianapolis Colts at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Colts are 3-point favorites.
What do we got?
3-point favorites. Indianapolis. 3.
Oh, but you said they're in Pittsburgh, right?
Yes.
All right, so I'm taking Indianapolis.
Yeah, I'm with you. Not a lot of discussion so far here, folks, but Indianapolis minus 3.
Well, especially seeing what we just saw from Pittsburgh over the last 2 weeks. Like, you got to expect the team that averages 34 points a game scores 30 against them. So
logically, that makes sense, and I'll go with you on that, but that one feels weird to me too. Here's another one. Kansas City is 2-point favorites to round out the show. Kansas City, 2-point favorites at Buffalo at 4:25 on Sunday. I think that one actually kind of makes sense. But
yeah, I mean, Buffalo always plays them really well in the regular season. I think in the regular season, Josh Allen only has like 1 loss against Mahomes. But I don't trust Buffalo's defense at all. So I would go with Kansas City.
I agree with everything you just said. And that's just overlooking the fact that in the playoffs, Allen has never beaten Mahomes and is 0-4, I believe.
You know, the playoffs, the Zebras are, wearing red and white, not, black.
We understand that has literally been scientific. That has been proved with actual data. That is actually true. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs over Buffalo, whatever, 4 to 7 point victory. Kansas City's going to win that game on Sunday afternoon, folks. That is the show this time. My name is Scotty T. It's the Terranadome. Remember to like, subscribe, tell your friends, man. I know you know people that like sports. Just tune in. It's a lot of fun. We cover the league every week. Oh yeah, one last thing. I juked yous again. One last thing. The World Series is going into Game 6 tomorrow night on Halloween night.
It might happen.
Well, they're going to have to win one in LA, but could happen.
What?
Could happen.
What do you mean? They have home field.
What do you mean they were just in LA? Now they're going home.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, they gotta try to beat Yamamoto, which I don't see happening.
I don't see that happen. That's why I already messaged you earlier today, and I was like, do you want to come by Saturday night and watch Game 7? Because we all know that the Dodgers are going to force it to 7 games. We already know it.
Matt Scherzer for Game 7, wouldn't that be elite?
Yeah, well, to piece it together however you have to win that damn game. That's all it comes down to. It's one game. That's it. Trey is Savage, what a stud that kid is. And Vladimir Guerrero, incredible. Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
God, I wanted him so bad.
So did I. You have no idea how bad I wanted him here, but man, good for Toronto, good for their fans. Good for the sport, by the way, if they can pull it off. I know it's a Canadian team, it's your only one. But enough of the friggin' Dodgers. Like, we don't need the Dodgers and the Chiefs every damn year. Okay? People are sick of it. I know. Patriots fan shouldn't be talking. Anyway, folks, enjoy your Halloween. By the way, happy Halloween to all you lovely people out there. Be safe out there, look both ways, all that stuff. And if you're driving in neighborhoods, slow the F down, would
Yeah.
you?
Or maybe just don't go out. Maybe just don't go out.
Or just don't go out. Like in my case, just don't go out.
Go on the main roads, but like, why are you driving back roads on Halloween? Like, what are you doing? Come on.
Yeah, well, hey, people, there's no common sense left in this world, my friend, but I hope you and your wife and your 3 beautiful daughters have a lovely time trick-or-treating and all that stuff. And, wear layers. It's going to be windy. Folks, other than that, tell somebody you love them today because tomorrow is not promised. And we'll promise you that's the truth. And we will see you back, or I will at least, next week, where we'll be talking about a World Series winner. We'll break down week 9, look ahead to week 10. It's all coming up next week on the Terranadome. Josh, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, sir. I can't wait till 2 weeks to do it once again.
Yes, unless I make an emergency audible and then you're on the show next week to talk about all the stuff. And you never know what I'm going to do. I juke twice at the end of this show.
I know,
so you never know what I'm going to do.
Really?
I'm full of surprises, folks. Anyway, tell somebody you love them today. Tomorrow is simply not promised. Be safe tomorrow night. Have a happy Halloween, fun Halloween weekend. We will see you in November on the Terranadome. Peace out.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is so pristine.